The penultimate luxury collection at Casio G-Shock is the Montana G collection, which sits right below the top-level G-Shock MT-G pieces. Montana G watches are certainly premium, priced at around $1,000, but include a lot of Casio's latest technology, plus a high-end feel and materials that should make even timepiece traditionalists happy. Today, I am going to review the latest generation Casio G-Shock Montana G, which is the MTGB1000 collection. This natural steel model is the reference MTGB1000D-1A. This is a new model for around 2021, and you can see my full aBlogtoWatch review of the previous generation Casio G-Shock MTGB1000 watch here. Functionally speaking, the MTGB1000 and MTGB1000 are very similar. That means they both have most of the same features and offer comparable wearing experiences. That said, the watches have entirely different case constructions, dials, and movements. That makes the MTGB1000 not as much as a direct replacement of the MTGB1000, but more a minor upgrade and stylistic variation. In a sense, the MTGB1000 and MTGB1000 being on the market at the same time makes them competitors. If you routinely travel and need the absolute fastest automatic time sync capabilities, then I believe this MTGB1000 has the edge, since its newer hardware module seems to have improved the Bluetooth and/or radio signal connectivity features. The MTGB1000 has more or less the same Bluetooth connectivity features, but it appears that Casio tweaked the performance a bit for the new module in the MTGB1000. For the most part, the choice between the G-Shock MTGB1000 and MTGB1000 is going to be up to the aesthetic preferences of the wearer. The dial of the MTGB1000 and the MTGB1000 feature the same information but with different layouts. This includes a main dial for the time with seconds, a 12-hour format subdial, a small MPM indicator for the second time zone, date window, and dual-purpose day of the week indicator and function selector hand. Note that the MTGB1000 has an additional pusher on the case. I also found that using the pushers to operate the features was a bit more straightforward on the MTGB1000, which is one of the tweaks that I think the watch enjoys over the earlier generation model. The dial is Casio's attempt to be restrained from a design perspective, and you do see most of the visual emphasis on the hands and markers, and legibility is pretty good. Design is very futuristic, with a strong sense of bold masculinity. The watch face isn't Casio's most beautiful or distinctive, but it is classy in the right way. The idea with a watch design such as the Montana G is to focus less attention on the dial and more on the watch case and bracelet, where the primary design expressiveness is meant to come through. Note that while the hands and hour markers have some limited luminance painted on them, the watch features a bright LED backlight that allows you to easily read the dial in the dark. The case is a bit narrower and shorter than the previous generation model, but a bit thicker. The MTGB1000 single-S steel and carbon case is 51mm wide with 55.1mm lug-to-lug distance and is 15.9mm thick. It is also about 30 grams lighter than the MTGB1000 at just 156 grams. The case itself uses Casio's novel carbon core guard structure, which eliminates a metal case back and uses a sophisticated monocoque carbon inner case structure that the metal pieces are later attached to. G-Shock watches that use this new technology are actually tougher in durability and lighter in weight. Frankly, I do like a nice heavy metal watch on my wrist, but as sports watches go, the lighter the better. The case is water-resistant to 200 meters and has a slightly inset and slightly domed, Arkansas-coated sapphire crystal over the dial. The steel bezel is coated in an anthracite gray color and given a 12-sided design. While not emulating the octagonal bezel of the Royal Oak, you can tell that Casio would like for this latest generation Montana G model to be mentally classified by consumers as part of the geometric watch bezel trend. This concept actually continued into the case, which makes the overall look of the MTGB1000 very interesting. The Triple G Resist case is very durable and offers the standard G-Shock range of shock resistance features. The movement is also tough solar, which means that in addition to being charged by the light, it is also shock resistant and will do things like realigning the hands if they are hit out of position by massive vibration or shock. The Bluetooth connectivity features of the watch are really important to me because they allow you to have a useful connection between your phone and watch. For example, the G-Shock app automatically updates the time of the watch if you change time zones, and also allows you to operate some of the more finicky features of the watch more easily using your smartphone. I consider the atomic clock radio frequency features to be an added bonus as a backup, as I don't think this is relied upon very much outside of Casio's home turf in Japan. In addition to the carbon core structure of the case, the matching steel metal bracelet also has a carbon inner structure which helps it to be both comfortable and lightweight. The bracelet and the clasp are simple, but they are satisfying to look at and wear. Don't miss the new articulating strap attachment system. One of the new features for the MTGB1000 version of the Montana G is a quick-release system that allows you to easily remove the bracelet and replace it with a strap, which is also available for this watch. Just a few years ago, Casio didn't even encourage consumers to remove the straps from its watches, and now it is including quick-release systems for more and more models. It is just interesting to note how these policies and personality traits of our favorite watch brands can be prone to change or update these days. For the money, the Casio G-Shock Montana G has always been an interesting value. While more expensive than most Casio G-Shock watches, it does have much of the brand's latest technology and a refined, civilized look that makes it better for social or business use, as opposed to casual or sporty wear. The question is who a watch like this appeals to more? Is it traditional watch enthusiasts looking to go down market and wear a fancy high-end quartz G-Shock that still matches elegant attire? Or is it someone who is graduating up from a more mid-level G-Shock watch? I think people from both camps end up wearing these watches, but I'd be curious to know who Casio finds the Montana G watch appeals to the most. The higher-end Mr. G watches are less about added functionality and more using even higher-end materials and sometimes having handmade artisanal components. In my opinion, anyone wanting to get into a high-end Casio should aim directly for the Montana G collection first. Many will stay there, and a few will go up to Mr. G. Others might feel that the offering is overkill and be happy with the more mid-level metal case Casio G-Shock. In any event, Casio is doing what it does best, which is continue to advance the Montana G collection, making the MTGB1000 on paper its greatest G-Shock Montana G model yet. Price for the reference Casio G-Shock MTGB1000D-1A is $1,000 used. Necessary data. Greater than brand, Casio greater than model, G-Shock Montana G reference MTGB1000D-1A greater than price, $1,000 used. Greater than size, 51 mm wide, 15.9 mm thick, and 55.1 mm lug-to-lug distance. Greater than when reviewer would personally wear it, as a daily wear watch while traveling or when I need to transition from activity to socializing without time to change. Greater than friend we'd recommend it to first, someone wanting to graduate into a more mature timepiece, but who still wants all the comfort, convenience, reliability, durability, and visual appeal of a resin generation G-Shock. Greater than best characteristic of watch, the best G-Shock Montana G watch Casio has produced to date. Lightweight carbon and steel construction is very well done. Legible dial and a slew of convenient features. Good value for money and a versatile watch that will easily last years. Greater than worst characteristic of watch, design not for everyone. Still a large watch. I can see consumers being a bit confused given that both MTGB1000 and MTGB2000 generation watches are for sale, and at somewhat overlapping price points.